And before I get started with my live for tonight, I want to say to all of the new people that may be watching, my name is Bree Kitty, as you guys may know, and my content is based on anything, rather if it's daily life crap or gossip or etc. I am a blind individual. Um, yes, when I do my videos or live streams, I have my phone down because number one, I don't feel like holding my phone up for a long period of time, and two, because I have trouble angling my camera and all of that. So if there's any new people out there tonight, please subscribe. The more subscribers, the better. And if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments section and etc. So this is a special live stream, and this is for mainly the sighted community. And before I get started, I want to say um, I have no issues that much with the sighted community. I have some friends that's in the sighted community and stuff like that. So big shout out to decided people that knows what they're doing and that's actually doing their job right. So shout out to them. Um, Also, I do have a few guests. I have Christian and Diamond, and I will get to them in a minute. But I'm going to go first because I want to address some things, and then I'm going to pass it on to them and let them give their feedback and stuff like that. So let's get to it. So I know there's a lot of sighted people that may have, adult children or young children that may be visually impaired, deaf, blind, stuff like that. Well, here's the problem that I'm sure some of us may have for those that live with other people or, you know, stuff like that, or if they're in group homes and stuff like that. So, the problem I have is this. So, I'm going to tell you guys a little scenario, a little story type of thing. So, um, basically, around here, we get food, and sometimes they would say, "Oh, my mom would say, oh, your food is on the counter or on the stove or whatever," and she does a very good job of that. So I'm really proud of her for doing that, for letting me know, where the food is, where to find it at in the refrigerator or on the stove or on the counter. Although I have some vision, it's hard for me to tell where certain things are, so that's why she tells me where it is. however, however, this is the problem I have right here. When my dad brings food over, um he does not tell me where it is. What he does is he'll basically, put it on the table, or he'll fix it and not even say, okay, there's food there, your food's there. No. He just fix it, get his own, and eat, and then leave. And for the record, no, they're not together. They are divorced, so they live in separate houses. Um, and that's the problem I have is if you have a, a a child or another person, it's your job as a sighted individual to tell that person where the stuff is, so they will know where to find it. So they will be alert of where stuff is, and I feel like that's the problem that some of the sighted community don't understand. Is when you're working with a visually impaired person or a blind person, instead of you catching attitudes, actually hear what they're trying to tell you. Don't just sit there and get mad about it or say the most rudest thing by saying, oh, you know, I'm going to do this, and this, or, I'll call 911 and, I'll tell 911 that I beat you because, you're going to get in trouble, not the blind person. You're going to get in trouble because you put your hands on a blind person for no reason. Then they try to tell you, you need to, please tell me where stuff is because we're not mind readers. The last time I checked, we're not mind readers. You know, how are we supposed to know where the stuff is? Even if we were to ask, how are we supposed to know where the stuff is? And that's the problem that I have tonight. And I want to know what you guys think about that. Do you think it is okay for a sighted person, rather if they are your guardian, your teacher, or whatever, to just leave stuff there and not tell you where it is? Or do you think it is important to be notified where stuff is, especially if it's food related? Because I know there's some of us that may have like health conditions where we have to eat something at a certain time to take meds, especially the older blind people, because I know a few older people that are blind and they are in their 60s and 50s and they still live with a guardian. They still live with a guardian. If that guardian was not to tell them, oh, you have food here or you have food there, how are they supposed to know? They can easily, starve of starvation, you know, and that would be on your hands because you let your older, daughter or son or auntie or whatever starve because you didn't tell them where the food was. So, my thing for the sighted community is this: if you are working with a person that is visually impaired and blind, instead of catching an attitude with them, listen to what they have to tell you because they're trying to tell you how to help them. You don't know everything because vice versa. Vice versa. If you was in our shoes for a day, you would be saying the same thing. So, you know, when you are with a visually impaired person or a blind person, even a deaf person for crying out loud, actually listen to them and not catch an attitude. Same thing in the schools. If you are a sighted teacher and you have a blind student and you are known to work with blind students, because I know there's some sighted teachers that's new at that, so I'm not throwing shade at the newbies. I'm throwing shade at the obies that know how to work with a visually impaired or blind student. Listen to what they're trying to tell you on things that will help them learn and succeed. Don't throw a temper tantrum. Actually listen to what your student is trying to tell you. And maybe that's the reason why we act the way we do to some of y'all sighted people, because y'all don't listen to what we're trying to tell you. You shouldn't be saying, oh, I'm going to beat you up, or you shouldn't be yelling in your son or daughters or or all of that.
All of that, girl.
You can't. You can't be doing that. You can't be yelling in their ear because they're trying to tell you that they work better doing this way, or they work better doing it like this, or they work better if you tell them blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? So you can't be doing that. And for the record, that was my mom that came in my room. But you can't be doing that. And I want to say a special shout out to all the good sighted people out there that is treating your visually impaired, your blind, your deaf, autism, child, son, daughter, cousin, granddaughter, grandson well. So kudos to all of the good sighted people that is doing their job right, and shout out to all of the good parents, the good grandparents, the good aunties, uncles, cousins, sisters, and brothers who is listening, who is actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. So before I turn it over to Christian and Diamond, I'm just going to use my voiceover and see if you have anything, comments, questions, people. It's just so we can all be on the same page. So let me turn on my voiceover.
Speech on. Live. To watching now. To top fans. Button. Top fans. Switch camera. Microphone. Enable. Save highlight. Turn off camera. Expand. Welcome to live chat. Hugo Gillette. Hi. Hey paw. Hugo Gillette. Hi. Button. Hey paw. Hi. Button. Hugo Gillette. Perfect. Button. Valentina Pino. Hello Valentina Chile. Triplets. Hey. Button. David Bender. Ask the FBI Ray Charles. Come on now. Ray Charles face with medical mask emoji. Button. Love my family 4. That true I'm blind, and I know what you mean. Button. Love my family 4. What about you? Button. Chat options. Button. Speech off.
Thank you for the comments in the comment section. And that is correct because even in the movie Ray Charles, the movie, his mom was helping him. But also his mom told him, don't use it as a handicap. Your sight. Don't do all that as a handicap. And he came a long way. Ray Charles has came a long way. So has Stevie Wonder. All them people has came a long way. And I listen to their music all the time. Although Ray Charles is not living anymore, I still listen to his music all the time. I still listen to Stevie Wonder music because let me tell you, before I turn it over to Diamond and Christian, those two and everybody else, so mainly those two, had it bad, but they came a long way because believe me, they face challenges in their life the same way we facing challenges in our life as a blind or a visually impaired person. You know, because there's a lot of sighted folks that say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Look, there are blind lawyers, there are blind teachers. We can do things the same thing you do, but a different way. Okay? So now I'm going to turn it over to Diamond and Christian as they tell us their feedback about the importance of sighted people telling us where stuff is. So Diamond, go ahead.
Let me go first. Um, see what I see what I think about see what I think about this in the blind people all over the blind community. What I think needs to happen is sighted people needs to understand we're not like them. We're not like them, so where we can find stuff easier. We have to feel around and find stuff. And the only thing I ask, for sighted people is, to, just not just tell people where everything is, but also indicate to them on where you are as well, because there have been, this hasn't happened to me, but I'm pretty sure that these things happens to a lot of blind folks where a sighted person, leaves you. They'll leave you and they'll forget, that they'll leave you and they'll forget that the child that they have is blind.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to understand, we learn different from the sighted world. We have to come together as one, and you have to come together as one, and you have to, basically understand that your child is blind, because you can't just leave them. You can't leave them and expect your blind child to, find where you're at themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, I've never been on a plane by myself, but for instance, what I do as a blind person, I go on this paratransit called Heart Plus, and what happens is there was one time. I'm gonna tell you a little story about that. So there was one time where I was waiting for my ride. The ride came and got me, but luckily they didn't leave. But they forgot to get out of the car for them to side guide me, and that's what I hate about some of these drivers, is that they don't really let you know, like, hey, I'm here, grab my arm or something. And that's what I don't like about some of these drivers, because they think they can treat you like you're a sighted person when you're not. And also, if you're ever in a grocery store and somebody's telling you to move over, don't you think it would be a good idea to have a person next to you that would help you move over? Because I hate when you're in a grocery store and they say, excuse me, and you're like with the cart and you don't know where to go. So my advice to some of these people is, just my advice to sighted folks, if you have a blind kid, whether you're, if you're a teacher or if you're a parent, just do us a favor and help us out, because not too many blind people is going to know where things are, where you are, and how you can be able to do things.
Thank you, Diamond.
That was beautiful, Diamond. Go ahead, Christian.
What'd you say, Bree?
I said that was beautiful.
Hey.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna piggyback off what Diamond said before I go into.
Sorry if it took too long with that.
No.
No, you're good.
That was good,
You're
Diamond.
good. You're good. That's why I was being patient with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna piggyback off what Diamond said. I take Motrin Gold in Daytona Beach. Sometimes some of these drivers, they forget that I'm visually impaired. I have to put in the notes to ring our doorbell. And some of them, they forget that I have a cane. And I have to remind the driver every time to ring the doorbell, because we have rules where we have to follow, because we have a facility where we're not supposed to touch the doors.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these sighted people, y'all, I just want y'all to understand. If you're working with a blind or visually impaired person and they're trying to show you where, and they're trying to correct you, they're not doing it to be rude. They're doing it to show you how they work with you. They're trying to do it in a respectful way.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give them an attitude. I'm gonna put myself in the hot seat. I'm sorry. Bree, you can laugh. Y'all can laugh. But I'm gonna put myself in the hot seat for a minute. I went to the Florida School for the Deaf and the Blind. And I'm gonna tell y'all, this is a true story. Now, I have to give Miss G all the credit. All the credit. Even if I was not in my best mood, she found ways to make sure I was having the best day of my life. I looked at her like Mama Margaret. For an example, if I went in there if I was struggling with something, she will work with me to the best of her ability. Even if I didn't know something, she makes sure I understood it correctly. Not a lot of teachers will sit with you, will stay after class with you, and work one-on-one sessions with you. Not a lot of teachers would do that. She would make plans in her planner to work with me one-on-one. Other teachers did the same thing. If y'all don't understand if some of y'all don't understand why I'm breaking it down the way I'm breaking it down, I'm going to tell you why I'm breaking it down the way I'm breaking it down. Because I want y'all to get this in y'all head. Some of y'all sighted people are getting a wake-up call the way you're getting it. Because some of y'all need to understand. This day and age, wait till y'all are in our shoes. Because we had this stuff, when we were kids, we did not have this stuff handed to us. Parents, we had to ask for these things. But now that we are adults, we don't have to ask. We can just get up and get it. Teachers and all other people, we have to realize we can't see it. We cannot see. Y'all have to realize, in order to work with an individual that's visually impaired or totally blind, they're trying to show you the best way they work.
Mm-hmm.
If I just walked up and say, how do I do something? I wouldn't know. That's like me walking up into somebody's house and asking and going to look for something when I don't even know where they put it.
Because they rearranged their house the way they know where stuff is.
And I gave a good example before we started this live stream earlier. And I'm gonna give it while I'm on here now. I straightened up my grandmother's house once before I moved up here. My cousin went in my grandmother's house, destroyed it. I had to put that house right back in order the way she wanted it. Do y'all realize how much work that was for me?
Especially a lot for a visually impaired person.
Yes. Ton of work. And it burnt me
affects everything. He moves everything. It took a lot of strength, a lot of energy, a lot of everything in my body not to get pissed off. I'm sorry to say that word, but I'm had to go there.
I mean, you could say it. It's not like you're saying something that's life threatening.
I'm just gonna let y'all know. Some of y'all teachers and parents, y'all really have to work on y'all attitude.
And let me just say this before we end this. I know, working with us may be kind of a handful at times. And I know sometimes you may want to give up. But let me just say this to all the decided parents out there, decided teachers. Let me just say this one last thing before we wrap it up because I'm thirsty and I want me a soda pop. So I'm just gonna say this. Don't give up. Okay, don't give up. Because instead of throwing in the towel, the only thing we ask is just listen. Listen to us. Okay? Especially if you have adult children at the house or you work with adults. If it's, a young child, still listen to them, but you make the rules and at play. Okay? So, just listen because the thing is, all we ask is if you put something down for us that we need, tell us where it is. If you know, need us to do something, tell us how to do it. Don't sit there and throw a temper tantrum, but actually tell us how to do it. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this special live stream. And I want to give a few shout outs to a few people. Um, Please keep on subscribing to DJ Soda Pop, aka my bestie over there, Kabante over there. Keep showing him some love, y'all. Okay? And also keep subscribing to the Blind Coffee Man. Listen to his stuff. If you are into coffee, he's your guy. And there's so many more subscribers out there that y'all can, show some support to all the YouTubers and etc. And we love you guys. And stay tuned for tomorrow's live stream on here as we be talking about loyalty and unloyalty. Because let me tell you, I have some juicy tea for that coming up tomorrow about some people ain't being too loyal when it comes to their relationships.
I got some words about that.
Ain't gonna say no names, but I will say tomorrow's live stream is juicier than tonight's live stream. So please come on out tomorrow night around 7 p.m. Okay, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central. Because, boy, oh boy, do we have a story for you.
Y'all better be prepared because all I gotta say is, you think this was juicy?
This is even more juicier.
You are in for a juicier treat tomorrow. So I'm just fully warning you.
We're all fully warning them.
We're all fully warning you. You better come on out for the next stream because you are in for a treat.
So again, continue to subscribe to this channel. The more subscribers, the better. And also,
I need more subscribers on Sticks and Keys, baby.
I'm about to get to you, child. Hold on.
LOL.
And also, okay. And also, if you like any music talent, again, just like Diamond said before, I was going to say it. Please keep on subscribing to the Six of Keys, and also continue to show some support for my YouTube, Facebook page, and Diamond's TikTok, because believe me, she has more in store for y'all real soon. As she giggles because she knows I called her out. So again, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay blessed, and toodles.
Bye.
I'm about to beat Diamond's ass.
Speech on. Love my family for that true. I'm blind. David triplet. Valid. Hugo. Hey Hugo. Welcome to expand. Turn off camera. Save. Hide. Turn off. Expand. Welcome. Hugo. Hey Hugo. Valid triplet. David. Love. Chat. Create. Share. Create. Chat. Love. David triplet. Valid. Hugo. Hey Hugo. Gillette. Welcome to expand. Tool. Turn off camera. Save. Highlight. Enable. Retouch. Microphone. Unmute. Switch camera. But top fans. Top fans. One watching now. Live. Third. Finish. Button. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Heading. Cancel. But end. Button. Can't end. Button.